Howdy folks, EJ here. I just hit 10 subscribers. That is awesome. I really wasn't expecting to get this much support so quickly. I mean, compared to the big YouTubers, that's a laughable number, but I am still very excited. I haven't even really done anything interesting yet. But now I am going to start getting serious. I'm going to begin releasing some of my big maps that I've made and playing with more friends and stuff like that, so my videos will hopefully be a little bit more interesting from here on out. In fact, I'd like to thank all of those of you who are already watching my videos by starting with this. I'm finally releasing a minigame map that I created in February, back when Snapshot 14W03A came out. The very first one with the clone reveal commands. I just can't wait any longer to at least make an announcement telling you that this map exists. I built this map in only 3 days during a wave of inspiration, even though I had to place hundreds of command blocks to make this work, and I have had it literally ready to go for over 5 months. Ever since, I have been dying to release it. Unfortunately, I couldn't release it until I had a proper test run of the map. But I couldn't test it with multiple players because servers weren't working for me for whatever reason. Now I finally got the server stuff figured out, but my friends are very enthusiastic about helping me test the map, which is a very big problem for me because they don't own Minecraft yet. But I didn't want to test the map without them because they were so excited about helping me, and they're my friends, so I just kinda got stuck, unable to progress any further on this project. So I simply kept the map tucked away in a folder, unsuitable for release because it was untested yet, and I made little aesthetic edits to it once in a while before finally forgetting about the map entirely. But now, finally, after tons of work and annoying mistakes, after waiting for ages, after every conceivable setback dictated by Murphy's Law, like accidentally booting this map up in an unstable snapshot and corrupting it to the point where I had to redo some stuff in a backup of the map, and even a few technical issues up to and including making this very video. I don't think of anything else to say. Why did that recording have to mess up? This has never happened before. Why does it have to happen on the one video that has already been delayed by so long? I don't understand why that audio got messed up on my first couple of tries of recording. Seems like everything happens to go wrong when you want something to happen really badly. I have had more than my share of bad luck. Bad luck seems to gravitate towards me for some reason. Because I have been having so many things go wrong with this whole thing. I don't understand. Fate itself is against me. Well, that is certainly a problem. Darn it. After all that, now everything is finally coming together. My friends have decided to buy Minecraft, they're going to meet with me, and we'll polish up the map by testing it out, and I should be able to finally release it, at last, very soon. Unfortunately, I am leaving on a week-long trip in a few days, which means I still won't be able to release it for a while yet. Hopefully, I will have it finally released when I get back from the trip. It just makes me rather ashamed that I've had this map completely ready for ages, but now 1.8 minigames have become commonplace because I took so long to release this. And, in fact, the reason I've decided to make this preliminary update video is because just yesterday I saw a 1.8 minigame gameplay video come out, and the minigame, called Anti-Sleuth by the way, had some very similar concepts involved with the minigame, which scared me into hurriedly trying to pull something together to prove that I'm not a dirty plagiarist. But anyway, without further ado, let me show you the concept behind my map. To start playing, you have each of the players that want to play the minigame come and stand in the 4 little alcoves in the side over here. There's a maximum of 4 players in the game, and then you push the little button to start the game. Let me just go ahead and read the instructions to you. Locked In is a PvP minigame where you are in an arena with 3 opponents. Your goal is to kill them, but you have to do it by building structures in your own quadrant. You should be given blocks to use in your building on a set time interval. Every time someone places a block, the game randomly chooses one of your 3 opponents' quadrants to copy a piece of and put in your quadrant. This can cause blocks to be deleted, replaced with air, or it could spawn someone else's wall on top of you, suffocating you to death. Your goal is to strategically use your blocks to trap your opponents without getting yourself killed as well, though there is some randomness involved that makes this a lot more difficult. There are also power-ups that you randomly receive, which do various things. Lava and water are just more placeable weapons for you. A bow automatically shoots arrows at your opponents. A TNT block will clear out 1 row and 1 column of your area, giving you some elbow room. A spawn egg will summon zombies to attack your enemies, etc., etc. Or you could trade these power-ups in, along with your armor, to the vendors along the wall and receive some different buffs instead. Suffocate, drown, melt, mob, or shoot your opponents down. Last one standing wins. Good luck. So that is how you play the minigame. I have actually never played it myself yet, but that's the gist behind how it is supposed to work, and it sounds pretty fun to me. Now, this ice pick here that I'm holding is actually kind of an important part to the minigame, but if you decide that you want to trade it into one of the 4 vendors along the wall, as you can see there are 4 different things here that give you different power-ups when you give it items. Let's say I give it my ice pick here to the armor one. Depending on which item I give it, it will give me a different piece of armor. This one, for instance, gives me iron boots. If I were to place some blocked into one of these things though, it would say that only special items can give you power-ups, because obviously blocks aren't very special. You get them every couple seconds, so you're not going to get any power-ups for that. The redstone behind how it works is all compacted into this little gray cube. The reason I did this is because I wanted it to look all nice and neat on the outside and be all pretty and stuff. I had a set area that I decided to start building my redstone in, and I squished it all in there, and it looked like a crazy, confusing spaghetti mess of all sorts of redstone everywhere, as you can see here. It did not look very nice, and I'm surprised it somehow managed to separate all the circuits that needed to be separated, and it actually worked. This is the first condensed version after I condensed it from my very first version, where it was literally packed to the ceiling and almost every single block was filled. But then after a couple days I managed to condense it down to an even more compact version of this. This is the even more compacted version, where I am very proud to say that I made this a whole lot more compact, and now I've even got some free space down here. So though the spaghetti redstone actually worked, I am much more happy with this redstone, and it is a lot easier to repair in case something messes up when I actually test it. So yeah, that's pretty much how the game works. I'm not going to go into how all the redstone works to make the minigame work, because it is kind of complicated. There are literally hundreds of command blocks, some of them even hidden inside these dispensers, 9 each, so it's actually a lot more complicated than it looks. But if you really want me to go into how all this works, just ask me and maybe I can make a tutorial video, but for the moment I'm not going to go into it all. Yeah, that is pretty much the minigame. The official game trailer and map are going to be released as soon as humanly possible. I am so sorry again for the incredibly long wait. This was originally going to be my first YouTube video, in fact, but I kinda got bored of waiting so long after this whole debacle, so I started experimenting with some rather terrible YouTube videos in the meantime. And apparently some of you liked them, so I just wanted to thank you all and promise that I'm planning on raising the bar in the future. I just need a little bit more time. So, that is all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye bye.